Hey. Hey, YouTube. How are you? Well, I wanted to make sure we could answer all your questions on the Whisper Club. I've been getting some of them. First of all, what's going to change on the main channel? Well, not much, right? As of last year, we've been producing the Conference Whispers right after the events. We've had our industry whispers in the weeks in between. We've put out whisper reports that were previously published to clients. The difference is those whisper reports actually came out months ahead of time. In addition, there was only 20 or so published last year, but I made 57 of them. So with the Whisper Club, I can now release a whisper report weekly. And for those of you that want the video edition, join the Whisper Club level of our YouTube channel and you can get the video edition. So I just finished editing and catching everything up to date. There's 2 more videos. I just need to finish their chapters and their title, the search engine optimization, and then I can release it to the club and you're officially caught up. So let me tell you about some of the videos in the club. So we have, hold on a second, go back to my list so I can read it. Yes, it's true. Okay, so the first whisper report is how to build and maintain trust, consumer trust in fintech solutions, right? Great stuff. How can we ensure compliance with evolving cyber physical regulations? What are the latest advancements in decentralized identity and verifiable credentials? What's the biggest AI risk in HR no one talks about, right? Yeah. So what's the biggest fintech risk CIOs are not aware of? And how can organizations implement zero trust security without disrupting user experience? And then the whisper report, what's the biggest 5G myth that people still understand? So there's a lot of tech heavy stuff, particularly for CIOs, CTOs, head of engineering and such. But as you know, if you're in tech, it's hard to keep up to date. Very, very hard to keep up to date. Every week there's a new framework, there's different things going on. And as you know, I'm here in Vegas and we cover the conferences. Now, one change I am contemplating, I upload videos from on site and I improve our search engine optimization. Hey y'all, technically I got my glasses on. I don't bring them on site to the events. So the thing is how do I get all this information out to people? And not everyone is in a position or times are tight where it's like, how do I get a PO? But I just need it for me. So wanted to give it away for you to get this information. And as you know, my whisper reports, there's a whole bunch that are live. It's not just me talking. These are actually fellow professionals in the industry, right? There's a CTO at Dell. There's head of engineering they're the people who know. It almost makes going to the conference like a treasure hunt. But I figured I could use help with this treasure hunt, right? I'm getting my questions ready for CES and I'm like, I love someone to bounce it off and see what y'all like. I'm thinking we got to do something on travel, something on great tech there's just so many areas to do on tech. So obviously I'm going to have way more than 3 whisper reports from CES. So we have a place to put them. But also the videos I upload on site, I'm like, well, I could put them at the whisper level, see what y'all think. If you like it, we could do that. And then once I get them and the team gets them search engine optimized where they got their thumbnail, right? And they got a nice title and all of that, then put them out. So there could be anywhere from an hour to 12 or 20 hour delay. But then when things go out on the official channel, they'll be all prettied up and have a pretty thumbnail. And then the folks in the Whisper Club can get like the short little, you know what I'm saying? You can get the sneak peek. So one of the fun things is, as you know, a lot of these people are actually the founders, CEOs and CTOs that I investigate and I talk to. But the best part is, I don't just interpolate all of it, although I do analyze in and around everything as you watch them and But I also let you hear directly from them, and the raw videos are also always available. But it's kind of nice because then you really know it's coming from people. These are what people really think, and particularly in 2025. So, for those of you not familiar, I actually once worked at one of the big firms. Yeah, I worked at one of the big firms. But one of the things I found out was two of my colleagues had never actually led an engineering team. They maybe did or didn't have a computer science degree. A lot of them were English majors. Nothing wrong with the English majors. I love them. However, there's a reason that Stephen A. Smith is the highest paid sports analyst who didn't play sports. Because football's tough to explain if you hadn't been there. But I think technology is really tough too. What do you think? And so the best part of it is, and yes, I love your emojis and your packages. And so that's something else that I'm going to do in obviously the Whisper Club is you can have custom emojis and custom thumbs up and all of those things. But I want to wait till we have at least 100 or more people so that we can vote and choose them. And then I'll have a designer make some really cool ones. We have some great logos, so I'm sure we'll come up with some great stuff for y'all to participate in. But I also thought it would be great. We could have a better environment so that way when a whisper comes out, if you guys want to talk about it, we can have a live chat and I can do a live stream and say, hey, what did you think about those top 10 cybersecurity myths? Right? I thought they were great. I thought they were really good. One of the myths they didn't talk about that I kind of like to ponder is, they talk about the latest, what's going to be the next SolarWinds infectations, what's going to be the latest malware. And the question is, what if these large language models are the latest malware? Could you extricate your code from it? I don't know. So it's going to be great. But as you know, when I go to these conferences, it's like a treasure hunt. And I go and find the CTOs and CEOs and the founders. Not even close, y'all. Everyone knows I'm one of the top female computer scientists in the history. WebSphere's grandma. I've been around from ages. No, I am not in the studio recording today. We're just doing a casual live chat. And, we're real. So be nice. So we talk to the CTOs, CEOs, and the architects, and they answer the questions. And we put together the reports. So in 2026, we will absolutely, guess what? Guess who came to say hi? Yes, it's true. Tabitha. Tabitha has never been on TBW. There's the girl. She made an appearance. She's a great girl. We'll be producing a Whisper Report every week. And the videos will come out right away on the Whisper Club. I believe we're going to try it to put the videos at CES. Last year we had 134 videos in 14 or 15 hours. I'm going to do more booths and less talk sessions this time because I want to get more Whisper Reports out for y'all. But Sunday and Monday is all the press events, and so those are more sessions and the state of the industry and all of that. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. One of the great things is unlike a lot of tech channels I'm the real deal. As you know, I have 6 degrees, including a Waterloo PhD done in minimum residency on SIMD data storage, that single instruction, multiple data stream. I was a global Fortune 10 CIO and CTO before the age of 40, and an IBM executive at 33. Been an executive at IBM, Dell, AT&T. Most recently, I have 9 patents. My 9th patent actually was awarded from my work at Microsoft. I redesigned Azure. I designed the data boundary, and I was the platform architect behind all the sovereign clouds around the world for countries all around the world. Put in the data boundary, put in all the industry clouds and all the templates for automation. Yes, I have led a team of a few thousand engineers. I have digitally transformed Dell manufacturing and supply chain. They used to have the Tower of Babel at one point because every factory was unique because they didn't want to stymie innovation. And so, it's great. So be sure to join the Whisper Club. We have lots of Whisper Reports coming. We actually have about 20 to 30 more Whisper Reports coming that are already produced. So as more people join the Whisper Club, we will release more videos. So be sure to join the Whisper Club, have your friends join the Whisper Club. The CTOs and CEOs answered the questions that are pressing, and we actually, they answered, no filter, no PR, just straight up, here's the question, answer on the spot. Some of them, they do know the questions ahead of time, so you'll see some of them prepared a little bit. Sometimes they'll say, can you come back in an hour? But yeah, it's just straight up what people really think. And it's great because it's obviously not a large language model. You see the executives, the CEOs and the CTOs actually answering these questions in terms of the biggest fintech risk, or what do you need to worry about if you're a media company and you're going to cloud. We actually have this huge stack. Sorry, I was trying to get my Excel sheet up behind on the computer. So I could share with you some of these upcoming WISP reports that you're going to see in 2026, right? And so these are ready to go, and we'll be dropping anytime. We have WISP report. What are the best practices for integrating AI and machine learning into our security systems? WISP report. How can we leverage customer interaction data to drive business insights and innovation? Okay, another one from Identiverse, WISP report. How can AI and behavioral analytics enhance identity security? And how can AI defend against AI-powered attacks? What's the next SolarWinds breach waiting to happen? How will drones change enterprise data strategy? What's the most underrated UAV use case in the industry? Boy, we just got a whole bunch of these. How should CTOs rethink org design with Gen AI? Oh, that's a great one. Sorry, you might see a cattail pop up behind me. What's the biggest packaging blind spot for CIOs? How will robotics in packaging reshape enterprise apps? What's the most overlooked data source in packaging? So if you're a CTO, CIO, chief data officer, anywhere in tech and engineering, the interesting thing is, even if the question isn't directly towards you and your role in your industry, but make you think. And I don't know about you, but as an engineer, when I go to solve problems, that's huge, is getting inspiration to go, I wonder if that would be true here. So that's what they're meant for. WISP report, how will age AI reshape enterprise architecture? What's the mobile tech trend that will blindside CIOs next, right? What's the biggest supply chain risk CIOs ignore? What about how will AI change warehouse architectures? Do you got a warehouse? You working with tech in it? We got an answer for that on you. You're a chemist. Okay, well, we don't have too much in chemistry, but chances are you're an engineer, so hopefully you still like tech and you will like it. How will AI change the warehouse architecture? What tech will kill manual logistics in 5 years? Yeah. So what Gen AI will reshape enterprise finance ops? What's the most disruptive payment tech no one's watching? Right? And by the way, all of these WISP reports are ready to go. So we'll be dropping one a week. But if you get enough friends and you hit membership numbers, you know what I'm saying? Then you can quickly go and get more reports released. So that'll be great. Yeah, how will Gen AI change chemistry? Great question, right? At the end of the day, I know in many sciences, it's putting together the math faster. There's actually a group of people in Silicon Valley, imagine that, with a startup who is specifically working on the hard sciences in a generative model. They started with math, but they're going to physics and I believe chemistry. So I would check that out just to see what they're doing, because when you teach it all the mathematical laws, then it goes just like you would as a mathematician to go, okay, based upon everything I know in this area of what I'm trying to prove, how can I put all these theorems, lemmas, and definitions together in such a way that I get the proof? At least that's how I did it. I don't know. Eventually, they fall into place. I found I could always find math answers before I could explain how to get there. But that's how, when you had to show it on paper, what I would do. And so they're doing that side of thing with all the hard sciences. And there's one particular startup specifically in California that's working on. So industrial chemist. Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's a lot of information is finite known, and so when you feed it all into a model, it should help hopefully expedite discovery. But oh, excellent. Exxon, yeah, lots of oil. Actually, one of the big things it's also doing is with geographical data to analyze it to find out where there could be better spots for drilling and such. So there's a lot of work that has been going on. But if you're an engineer, definitely, if you've noticed in the vendor videos, I always ask them to speak at the expert level, right? I have 6 degrees and 9 patents. I had my PhD when I was 25 from Waterloo that had a 2% acceptance rate. So yes, I'm an engineer. I've had real teams and real positions. That's really important when you go to get advice. You don't want advice from people that have never been there, done that. When I was at one of the big analyst firms, that's one of the things I found out is they were English majors who never led a team of engineers. And it's one of the things you find out frequently in the tech industry, is that too many people helping you with your tech problem never have actually done anything. I have. My 9th patent came from my sabbatical that I did at Microsoft during COVID, where I redesigned to Azure, so it could be automated for more resilience, as well as the data boundary and all the industry clouds. So yeah, I'm absolutely a real engineer. Get the hands dirty in tech as much as I can, when I can. But I had some amazing fun in the industry. But the point is, I'm hoping to make all of this knowledge as useful and accessible to as many fellow engineers as possible. And it's also very obviously human in the loop. As you see when you look at the whisper reports, like there's their face and those are their words coming out of their mouth, taken on site at Black Hat or a Deniverse or a CES or a SEMA or the NAB show or whatever the major event is here in Vegas. And if you know of any events that are here in Vegas, by all means, let me know, and I'll see if I can get a press pass. We are independent, and that's important because some of the bigger ones, they sometimes give you a hassle like, oh, I want to approve and see what you write before it's published. It's like, yeah, no, we're free independent press. We do not give that to anybody. We are not pay for play either. So all of those vendors are vendors that like, wow, that's cool, right? I'm a computer scientist, but yet when I saw a plant that was bioengineered to get more conversion of carbon dioxide to oxygen, and then they bioengineered the soil as well, there's some chemical engineering in there, right? I mean, it was cool. How could you not cover it, right? So basically, I cover things that I find interesting, or in any of my roles, right? I was CTO at Microsoft, CIO, CTO at Deutsche Post WorldNet. I ran strategy for all the system integrators at AT&T in the .com era. Between US Web, CCAS, and IBM, like high 90% of companies got online through me. At one point, yes, it was a small, tractable site. Just like Miko talked about how viruses were once small, tractable. He had all of them, the entire problem set on disks at the Black Hat keynote. Yeah, well, once all the companies and all the websites was trackable as well. So back in the .com, I absolutely did a lot of that. During my postdoc at IBM, actually did the proof of concept for WebSphere, so that was a lot of fun. I got to work with Paul Larson, if you're there, Paul, hey, the father of SQL. I worked with Toby Torrey and Wahid Mimini, who created X500 and directory servers, and Avi Silbershot. So if you have a computer science degree when you went to school, chances are your operating system book was by Avi. Yes, I published and worked with him when I was a kid doing my postdoc. So I'm very lucky. I was taught by some giants when I was a kid. I also have, for those of you that are mathematicians, and by the way, that math project on the large language model in California has solved 2 Erdos problems. For anyone not in the world of discrete mathematics, you might have heard in the entertainment world, everyone measures their, their Kevin Bacon number. Everyone's separated by a degree of 3. Well, they did that in the world of discrete mathematics around Paul Irdash, who is this famous mathematician. Yes, I have met him. I saw him at a conference in Boca Raton. We went to get him when he was going to give a speech. Cool story, a cool Irdash story, right? He was in his hotel room and we knocked at his door like, hey, time to go. And he opened the door and the chain was on it. And he couldn't figure out what to do. I mean, this guy's like, there's genius and he's like the genius of geniuses, way out there. And he couldn't figure out that you needed to undo the chain to open the door. So he's absolutely brilliant in mathematics, but couldn't get the chain in the door. He had to crawl in through the window to go and get him out so we could all see him speak. But he was notorious for wanting to, when he would say it's a great problem, he's like, if you could solve this problem, I'll give you $100 for it. And if you solve the problem, then you would get a check from Paul Irdash that had $100 on it, but nobody would cash the check. And this guy actually was taken care of by the mathematics industry. He didn't have a home. He would go from mathematician to mathematician around the world, staying at famous mathematicians' residencies weeks or months at a time. So it was very cool. But my Paul Irdash number is 2. I was supervised by Charlie Colburn, who published multiple times with Paul Irdash. So, hey, Charlie, if you're there, ASU, I think it's where he was last. He was a combinatorics and computer scientist at Waterloo. When I went there, it was a lot of fun. So, anyway, back to the Whisper Club. You definitely want to join the Whisper Club. What's changing on the channel? The only fundamental change to the channel is that I might upload to the Whispers, which is the first level in the membership. Well, it gets search engine optimized and you get the thumb. Then once it gets its thumbnail, then put it public. So that is the only thing on the primary channel I'm looking at changing. However, we only got like 15 Whisper reports out last year, and I made 57 of them. So in the Whisper Club, and we have it on YouTube, and we'll be launching a premium newsletter to go with it. Be sure to, if you go actually to TBWadvisors.com and you go to the Computer Talk Radio page, for those of you not familiar, yes, I am on broadcast radio, Computer Talk Radio, weekly with Benjamin Rockwell since July. And it is syndicated 1.6 million weekly, 130 platforms. And so if you go to that page, there's a landing page on there, and you can at least get into Email Whispers. Email Whispers tells you what goes public. You get a copy of the Whisper Report or Conference Whispers before it goes public, but it's a free newsletter. It does not get all the Whisper Reports when they get published to insiders, clients, and so on. The Whisper Clubs will get the Whisper Reports on publication day. Really easy. You don't need a purchase order or anything. You just go in there and get it for yourself. The Whisper Reports feature top questions that people have been asking and want to know from the group of professionals that gather at these events. So I go in to Black Hat or Identiverse or Manifest or HIMSS or FinTech Meetup or Money 2020 or Adobe Summit, and I talk to the people, the keynote speakers and the vendors and the CEOs and the founders, and I ask them, do you have an opinion on this? Interestingly, everyone has one of 2 exact reactions when I'm doing the research for the Whisper Reports. The first is, absolutely, I have a reaction. And the second is, ooh, good question. I'd like to see that when it's ready. And so a lot of people want to see it when it's ready. With an easy way, you can just use a credit card. You don't have to get a purchase order. Very affordable for everybody to join the Whisper Club, get access to the Whisper Reports when they're released, 1 weekly. In addition, as you guys hit membership marks, with more members joining, we will release more Whisper Reports. Now, anybody who's familiar with me, I did 3 majors in 4 years while I was an All-American athlete in 17 clubs and committee, including like starting the ACM chapter. So I tend to be very efficient and I can produce a lot. So absolutely, please come to the Whisper Club. Let me know what you're thinking. We will have custom emojis and custom all of those things, but those are going to happen once we have enough members. So you can vote on them. There may be custom shorts as well. It depends on what y'all wanted. But I knew the most important thing is I wanted to get more of these Whisper Clubs out to y'all. So once again, I will go, if I can find it. Where did I have that page? Where's that browser page where I had it? Here it is. Okay, I do have where I can read to you the current Whisper reports, the video editions that are currently in the Whisper Club. So be sure to join the Whisper Club and get your friends so you can see these videos. There will be many videos that are exclusive to the Whisper Club for a year or more before they ever see the light of day outside the Whisper Club. So this is exclusive content. Okay, so here we are, Whisper Club. How can we build and maintain consumer trust in fintech solutions? Whisper report. How can we ensure compliance with evolving cyber-physical regulations? What are the latest advancements in decentralized identity and verifiable credentials? What's the biggest AI risk in HR no one's talking about? I have to tell you, that report is really good. I really like it. I gotta tell you, it's true, it's true. So be sure you have that, you come to join the Whisper Club because you are gonna find it very insightful with everything going on in AI and HR, and that affects every one of us who has a job. Whisper report, what's the biggest fintech risk CIOs are underestimating? How can organizations implement zero trust security without disrupting the user experience? That's right, it's easy to do zero trust, but how about without disrupting the users? It's a little bit more difficult. And what's the biggest 5G myth that tech leaders still believe? So if you're a CIO, CTO, networking director, and you're updating your networks, I don't know how to say this, you really want to see our research from MWC that was held here in Vegas, particularly that report on what 5G can do for you. You might be surprised, get a whole lot more, but it may actually be easier on your budget. I know, so you have to come and see. So thank you so much. We'll stop by another time to give you an update. I actually have 3 more videos, all edited, ready to go. I just, one's for New Year's. The other 2 are catching everything up to date, so everything will be up to date. So as soon as those get all prettied up, then anything that's been published to privately to clients is now a video in the Whisper Club. Once again, the only thing changing on the channel is tons of Whisper reports are coming to the Whisper Club. That's right, tons of Whisper reports are coming to the Whisper Club. Hope to see you there. I have 1 a week dropping and even more for membership goals as you get some more. So we will see you there. And I hope enough people come so that we can maybe get some input because we're working on our Whisper reports for CES. We are making our appointments for CES. It's going to be so exciting. Lots of press contact. It's an exhausting week coming up, but it's going to be amazing. So thank you for all of your support. Absolutely. Still subscribe, tell your friends, like the videos. But if you're anywhere in engineering and you love the Whisper reports, then definitely check out the Whisper Club. Excellent. I appreciate you and have an amazing Monday and an amazing week. We've had great weather here in Vegas. So for those of you not in Vegas, yeah, no, it's been great. Okay, take care. Bye, y'all. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you.